they're crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
let's
Well,
continue.
you play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double T, and you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. Also, if you could, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe. Also, smash that notification. It's the quick, easy, and free way to help this channel grow as big as possible. So, Double D, we got a lot of crazy stuff going on. The war in Iran still going on. And Trump decided to do a Meet the Press. And we all know when he sits down with the liberal media for a long period of time, shots are going to be fired.
Who is that? Kristen Welker, right? Is
Yes,
that her name?
I believe that's her name, yes.
Okay, yeah. She can be kind of, how do I put this?
A liberal,
she can be
a snob.
She can be a very, yeah, and very uppity, and she thinks she's kind of better than everybody, and she kind of does come across as a little bit of an a-hole.
Right.
Honestly.
Right, no, she does. And we all know Trump, he's going to bring the fire. You're not going to just try and pigeonhole him and corner him in the little gotcha moments. It's just not happening with Trump, especially with the liberal media.
And especially with someone like her, whom he has an enormous amount of contempt for, and I would assume that those feelings are shared both ways.
Right. No, exactly. So we got a couple clips here for everybody to see. And I thought they were actually pretty hilarious for the most part, but also very spot on and very direct and very, hey, you're not going to get me. I'm going to let you know what's going on, and that's just how it is.
Before you let that clip roll, I just want to say the one thing that I do find most intriguing about Trump is not backing down, dude. He is not backing down.
No.
If anything, he's holding firm, holding strong. I wouldn't say he's doubling down because there's nothing to double down on. It all is what it is. So he's definitely holding firm and standing his ground, though.
Yeah, 1,000%. So let's get into the first clip.
Now, believe it or not, you just had all brand new stock market records today. But at the hottest point in the history of our country, I took Scott, Howard, I took Pete, I took everybody into a room. I said, I have to do this country, this world, the Middle East, Israel, everybody a favor. You have Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon. Barack Hussein Obama signed the JCPOA. It was a horrible deal. Horrible deal.
I agree.
100% horrible.
It was a horrible deal. It was a path to them getting a nuclear weapon. They were very close to having a nuclear weapon. I terminated the deal. Then I sent the B-2 bombers in about 9-10 months ago, and they totally obliterated the site, and I saved it. We had a choice. We could let them have a nuclear weapon, or we could go along and have some beautiful days. But they would have, it's a judgment. They would have used a nuclear weapon. And you know what? When people hear that whole scenario, when they hear
You see your eyes get triggered.
Iran is going to have
Yeah,
a nuclear
they
weapon,
are.
and they're crazy, they say you're doing the right thing. I don't think it's I mean, you'll do polls because they're all fake polls anyway, especially yours. But you do polls.
It's true.
I just won a big election. And the reason I won an election is people have confidence in me. I have good judgment. I had to make a judgment. Do I want to go along and have a country that's doing really well, but somebody is going to try and kill us? Or do I want to put out that horrible threat? And I did. I put it out. I put it out for many, many years. Now I'm going to put it out permanently. I'm going to do it either through negotiation, where we're very close to a deal, or I'm going to blow the hell out of them, to be honest with you.
And that's just it, flat out, Double D. It's either you're gonna oblige, you're not gonna have a nuclear weapon, or bye-bye. See you later.
I've been saying all along, I think it's coming to that too. I think what's going to end up happening, and I know, here's what I think is going to end up happening. I think we're going to end up just bombing Tehran into submission at some point.
Yeah.
if we don't get this deal. Honestly,
Yep.
I mean, the bottom line is he's not backing down.
Not
There's
at
no
all.
nuclear weapon for Iran. I don't care what the liberal media says. I don't care what the Democrats say, and I don't care what the Iranians, the Russians, the Chinese, or anyone else says. They're not getting a nuclear bomb. He's going to see to it for that. And if we have to, bomb them into the Stone Age at the same time,
So be
I
it.
guess it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'd rather it not
but
come to that. I would rather not see that.
Regardless, at the end of the day, this is Obama's fault. So it's crazy how Trump has to come in. He has to clean up Obama's messes. He has to clean up George Bush's messes. And he has to clean up Joe Biden's messes all at the same time.
Well, to Biden's credit, he actually didn't have a whole lot going on the Iran thing. Yeah, there were some.
Well, no. I didn't. I'm not just talking about Iran. I'm just talking about messes in general. He had to clean up the Ukrainian mess. We're still in the middle of trying to get that all situated. It's just constant.
I would even say
he's playing constant cleanup, is what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. And I wasn't defending Joe Biden. I was just pointing out.
No.
He's not really responsible for the Israel-Iran thing. Surprisingly, he's not. But Obama definitely is.
Yeah.
Because it's the domino effect. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, Joe Biden was Obama's third term.
Yeah, he did continue whatever like I said, other than the continuing of the money. Honestly, I'm not even sure Biden even knew what was going on anyway. So
nope.
Again, to Biden's defense, he didn't know what was going on either.
That's actually the easier path. So when you say, I promised, I didn't promise anything. I don't like these endless wars. This is not an endless war. We've been doing this for 3 months. Much of it has been under the a pretty good form of ceasefire. The blockade has been amazing. Our Navy is amazing. Our military is the best in the world. Hey, we took over a very powerful country, Venezuela, a lot of soldiers, big, strong military. We took over Venezuela in a matter of minutes. We destroyed the capability of Iran in a matter of days. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Now I'm going to finish it. But remember, you were in Vietnam 19 years because stupid people. You were in
exactly
so many
endless wars.
Every war you were in for years. Yeah. Look at Iraq. Look what you were. You were there for years. Yeah. We're there for Kirsten. We're there for a few months, and the threat is largely over. Soon it will be
triggered eyes.
But you cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, or they will blow you up. There will be no Kristen. There will be no NBC. There will be no Meet the Press. You will end the Meet the Press string.
And that's the point. That's the whole point. We just cannot let them have nuclear weapon. And that's that. It doesn't matter if the black pillars don't like it. It doesn't matter if Tucker Carlson doesn't like it. I don't care if Candace Owens doesn't like it. I don't even care if Nick Fuentes doesn't like it. I don't care. I agree with this that they do not need a nuclear weapon. If they weren't building a nuclear weapon, then why did they have nuclear capability enriched to 61%? What was the purpose? And they admitted it. Literally came out and admitted that they were enriching uranium beyond what they were allowed to enrich it at.
Yeah, I mean, originally there was an amount. What was the cutoff amount for that?
It was like 6% or something like that.
It was like what?
Like 6%.
6%.
Yeah, and they went up to like 61%.
Okay, so they had a 6% approval, which would have been enough to give them nuclear power for energy, and electricity, and what have you.
Exactly.
And I've never heard Donald Trump say anything about not letting them have that either. As far as I know, he's always been cool with them having that kind of energy as far as like for electric and power and fuel. But 61%, no, dude, if they get even to 80%, they're going to have something that's going to either be, it's either going to be short range to go to Israel, or they're going to have something, at least one or two things long range to maybe even hit New York or LA or something like that. So, I mean, I agree with the president, man. Look, they have been a thorn in the side of America for 47 years, and they have been screaming death to America, bomb America, death to the infidel, America's the great evil, blah, blah, blah. They've already been telling us for 47 years what they want to do. if they get the bomb, they're going to use the bomb, dude. When somebody tells you, if somebody says, you give me that baseball bat and I'm going to hit you in the head with it, and you hand them the baseball bat, you kind of deserve to get hit in the head.
That's true. I don't disagree with that, Double D. I don't disagree at all. And it's just crazy to me that like people are so they were like so quick to jump ship. You know what I mean? They were so quick to any little thing that Trump did that they didn't like, they were willing to just completely go against him, and they were completely done with him. Like I never really cared for Megyn Kelly, never cared for Candace Owens. I like Nick Fuentes. I still like Tucker Carlson. I don't watch them that much, but I still like them. So for me, it's like when I watch people like Nick Fuentes and Steven Crowder debate, right? And I see how Steven Crowder literally comes with just pure facts, pure reasoning, pure common sense. And Nick Fuentes comes with nothing but feelings. It's all about, oh, we don't like that Trump did this. I don't like that Trump did that. I don't like it like Trump's meant to just serve one specific person in this country. Like I never understood it. So for me, I'm not just turning against Trump just because I don't necessarily agree with what's going on in Iran, because truth be told, once it's all said and done, we'll know the actual reasoning behind it.
I ain't gonna lie, Bird. When you started doing the Nick Fuentes impersonation, I couldn't help but picture you wearing a blue suit with a red tie or a blue striped tie, and your America First hat. I was just
Right.
like, oh my god, dude, you actually sounded just like him. But to reiterate on what you're saying, I'm with you on that, dude. Um, I've always kind of been on Trump's side with this whole Iran thing right from day one,
Exactly.
because I feel the way he felt about it, that Ronald Reagan should have did something 47 years ago.
Oh, I don't
And
disagree at all.
we should have put an end to it then, and we wouldn't be dealing with it today. And all Obama did was appease it and throw money at it. So he made that machine bigger than it was before he got there. So now we have a machine that's 4 times the size of the one that we had 47 years ago, when we should have just made a parking lot out of it then.
Exactly. So the last part of this, a little bit longer, we get Trump talking about January 6th and the truth behind it and the actuality, not what the liberal media wanted to spin, what really went down, how things really went, the way it really should go, and what really needs to be done in order to compensate these people that were literally political prisoners.
Yeah, and before you let that clip roll, I just want to say there was a lot of people that look like, I mean, I've watched a lot of those tapes now. I mean, anybody can watch. You can watch the entire thing if you want. It's all available now. So it looked to me like they were walking them people in. They even, first of all, dude, they even kept the little, the little railings, the little cloth railings, the little rope railings. You know what I'm talking about? Dude, they had all those lined up and everything. They were just following the path through the, through the Capitol. It's like they were being guided in. That was a total setup.
That was escorted tour.
When Nancy Pelosi refused the National Guard, it was already a setup.
Exactly.
Very few Republicans.
Just to be very clear, are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive
So
the
let me
fund?
explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by radical left lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe. They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the other things. But people have been badly hurt. They've committed suicide. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost everything. They've lost everything over a fake weaponization of government. Now,
So
let
are
me
you
just tell
looking
you.
for a way to revive it?
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve. People have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed. Many suicides. Think of it. People have committed suicide because a bunch of thugs went after them. So, me personally, I think the weaponization fund is a great idea. And so do many other Republicans. You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right, we're going to motor through this.
I don't disagree with them on that. I think that they definitely deserve compensation, especially with some of the stories that I've heard. Like this one dude I know, he got put in prison because they said he cut like a tarp at the thing, and then there's a video clearly showing a cop doing it, and the cop that did it said that he did it and got him thrown in prison. So what Trump's saying is actually true, that there were a lot of crooked and dirty cops at January 6th.
Dude, what I mean, they don't bring this up during this part, but what about the Ashley Babbitt cop? What was his name, officer? What was that officer's name again?
I don't remember.
I forget. Was it Mike something or whatever? It doesn't matter. He basically shot Ashley Babbitt in cold blood.
Right.
And nobody
cares. The Democratic Party don't care.
Joe Biden gave him an award for it.
Sad, dude. Very sad.
But
So yeah, reparations are due to the people who were victims of that, whether, especially Ashley Babbitt's family of all people. But yeah, these guys went through hell and back, dude, looking at years of prison time, like for stuff that they were guided into doing.
Exactly. It was a setup, man. It was a setup.
People have been destroyed by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Comey was a dirty cop.
There's no evidence.
Wait a minute. You think Comey was a straight cop?
People who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No,
they had FBI. Listen to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around there looking, oh, isn't this nice? They weren't in. They were being ushered into the building.
Sir. There's no evidence of that.
All you have to do is watch the tapes, you frickin' dingbat.
And she already has, and she knows that there's plenty of evidence of it to show it. Dude, they've been showing them all for the last year. Like I said, almost every one of those videotapes are available now. You know, they've been released. I mean, there's 41,000 hours of different footage from every angle of that place now for that whole entire time that was taking place. And clearly they were being guided in there. They were being let in. Hell, they were being ushered by Capitol Police and FBI members. So, yeah, no, it was a setup. And the liberal media wants that. Do they want to push January 6th until and for the next 100 years? And what's going to end up happening is they're going to be the ones who look bad for the COVID and for the steal. That's how history is going to write.
And frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
There's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off
the
tapes one time?
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled guilty?
Should they be exempt?
Because they told they were going to jail for 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled.
Exactly, that's the point.
Yes.
People don't sometimes people plead guilty because they're like, hey, I'm going to go to prison. I don't want to go to prison for that long. I'll take the 5-6 years that you're offering.
Or 2 years, because they were offering most of them 18 months to 2 years for very unserious charges, by the way. But they were like, you're going to get 25 years, you're going to get 30 years, you're going to get 15 years in federal prison and maximum. See, this girl, she knows that. She belongs in federal prison, honestly, herself, because she's been part of this whole narrative since it started. So if anybody belongs in jail, it's her and the rest of everybody else from MSNBC and Meet the Press. But that goes without saying. Point being is there was a lot of people that took the deal because it was better than looking at spending half their life in prison for some bullshit.
Because they were frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going into the building.
Okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
Yes.
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on. People that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office. What they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people.
Yep.
They sent people to jail who did nothing
All
wrong.
right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But
Yes,
we
there
talked about Todd
is.
Blanche.
How is it that you don't understand? Go watch the videos. There's the evidence.
Dude, all she's trying to do is discredit him before she says something. She's using that Democrat trick. Every Democrat, every socialist use the same trick. What they do is they say something in sly that would discredit you or say something bad about you, and then they go and throw their question at you so that way their audience already has a preconceived view no matter what the president says. She is the most notorious for that. She really is a dude. She's just an evil liberal, dude.
Listen to me.
Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
It's
but
not been
evidence.
presented
The election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
You've
in
never
California.
presented
Bingo!
evidence
It's
that
happening
the
right
2020
Yes, it
now
is.
in
election
California.
was rigged.
Right
But
now,
it's
it's
getting
looking.
screwed
Look at what's
right
happening
now.
in
Evidence
California.
to that.
It's
The
4
Republicans are
days
doing well in
in
California.
California. It's
Well, she says, where's your evidence to that? Well, let's see. We're talking about a local election. It's a mayoral election, right?
Right.
We're not even talking about the actual election. We're just talking about the primary, okay? This is the primary, right? Somehow, the socialist who was down 12 somehow goes up 8, 9.
Second place.
Like,
Nine
I
into
just,
second place. And then Pratt falls down to 27%. And here was the wildest one about that. He got 0 votes out of the first 24,000 mail-ins after 0 votes.
Yep.
Wow, what are the odds?
that sounds
What
like a
are the
rigged,
odds, Bird?
that sounds like a
Bird,
rigged election.
You want to know what the odds are? Because I know what they are.
0.
The odds are 1 out of 1.3 trillion.
Yeah.
The 1.3 trillion to 1 that the odds are you'll have 24,000 ballots, not a single one for Spencer Pratt, and 17,000 of those coincidentally ended up being for Rahman. 17,000, and she was literally at 22% before that. And now they're trying to say, well, it's because all the Democrats vote mail-in. No, it's because they've been harvesting ballots, and they already screwed Spencer Pratt over.
Yep.
They already screwed him over. So
Yep.
he's right, dude. This is all rigged, and they're doing it again. They're doing it on a very small local level in California, but it's way too obvious. If you're up at 32%, and then all of a sudden you're down at 20%, and it's all because of the mail-in ballots, the odds are 1 out of 1.3 trillion that would actually happen without a single vote.
they're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with
That's how they count
You know
the
why
votes
they're doing
in
that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Yeah.
Do you have evidence to support
All I
that?
have to do is look. All I have to do
But
is
that's
look.
not
All you have to
And I
do is
evidence.
watch.
listen. And I listen to people, and let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think
And
it's appropriate
That's how they
that they
count
ha-
the votes in
Do you
California.
think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State and
winner?
local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're
No,
urging
crooked.
the votes to be
Crooked.
counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your
There
press
you
is
go.
crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. Then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's-
You play
Bingo.
right into their hands with this.
Yeah, I'd go
You
with
know
stupid and crooked.
that
I'd
these
go with
elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
You know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
you
in
went
this
to
country, we're
court.
like a third world country.
But, sir,
Your
Exactly.
elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough.
Here's what Trump is thinking right now, Double D.
Shut up,
What?
bitch!
That's right.
Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch the foot.
I know. I
I've sat in
traveled
the rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an
the
hour.
Everybody, watch the
You
foot.
went off in the rain.
Watch
And I've
the
given you
foot,
enough
people.
time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a
all,
dishonest
listen,
press.
we
Come on, let's
traveled
go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Well, there it goes. Crunch.
Sorry.
Power's out.
Sorry, broad.
Is it?
You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have told her, Double D, I would have told her you need to straighten out your attitude and become a lady for once in your life.
Or better yet, become a credible journalist.
Right. So, you
That
know,
would be a nice start.
that's my ending to this. To me, it seems more and more and more that journalists are discredited by their own admission every day. And it seems like the independent journalists like Nick Shirley, people like, even like Andrew Callahan, I believe that's his name, the Channel 5 news guy,
Yeah.
Tommy G, like the independent journalists are the people that are really making the strides and showing what's really going on.
I mean, honestly, Adam Francisco, who's really more or less a commentator like you and I,
Right.
still has better journalism than her.
Right. Also, Nate Friedman. Nate Friedman's been going to
yeah.
he's been going to these protests and exposing all of them.
Alex Stein, comedian,
Yeah.
better journalist than her.
Exactly. 1,000%.
He's a comedian, dude.
Let's be honest. We're better journalists than this bitch.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And we're not journalists. We're just two assholes who give their opinion about shit that nobody else really cares about.
And that's the point.
Exactly. And we still make more sense in this crazy bitch.
Exactly. So, you know, I think on that note, we should end it. You know, we pretty much got across what we wanted to get across.
I would say so. Bottom line is the media is crooked. Donald Trump isn't backing down.
Nope.
And I'm cool with it.
Hey, let's go. Well, I just want to thank God because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Double D. I want to thank the audience, and I want to thank my friends and family.
And as always, Bert, thanks for making the show happen every week as you do. Audience, as you always know, you're the reason we're the reason. Without you, we're nobodies. And with all that, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for always giving me the opportunity to bring this message to you. And as always, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.